Now we're here in one of the most famous spots in Guyana. Like, Guyana is actually known for the famous SEAWALL, and it's not just SEAWALL, it's SEAWALL, right? You have to say that properly. When you come Guyana, you have to say it properly. And the thing about it, like, in the night, here becomes like a nice party vibe. A lot of people are here, you know, food, drinks, entertainment. You know, you're just vibing, you're liming, and then the sea in the background. And aside from the sea being in the background, you get this nice breeze to keep you cool when the night comes. The seawall in Guyana is actually 280 miles long. This seawall runs along much of Guyana's coastline, including all of the coastline in the capital city of Georgetown. It protects settlements in the coastline areas of Guyana, most of which are actually below sea level at high tide.
Because we are 6 feet below the sea level, which means, yes, 6 feet. The 6 feet below the sea level. Please walk on the side of the road. Please don't get knocked down. And what it means when I say we're 6 feet below the sea level, it means that when you look out, you see that level there? This is sea level. We're below that level, and water tends to come up onto land. What that means is, for the Dutch, when they came, they know a lot about irrigation, draining, and other stuff when it comes to infrastructure. And back to the seawall. The seawall serves a purpose. It protects the land from washing away with the waves and water. Basically, it breaks the waves, so by the time it reaches onto shore, it's not as hard. Any questions?
What provides that nice, fragrant scent?
I'm glad you asked. So, yes, partially. Guyana's waters are a beautiful brown. And that brown is because of sediments. And that sediment, most times, is mud. So whenever the tide is out, it exposes the bed of mud. And that mud, most times, carries that smell. Another thing about the seawall, it starts in Region 3, it runs all the way up to Region 5, and it covers about 450 kilometers of land, or it's in a straight line, and that is the protection of seawall. As we all know, Guyana is developing, and the seawall and the road along the seawall has been developing with businesses and infrastructure to support more and more tourists to come to this area. But now is the moment to walk on the sand, get close to the water, and just take it all in at once. Normally, another nice thing that a lot of people like to do is look for sea glass. That is glass that has been broken and then polished down to get a smooth finish, like this.
Happy to be here, the very famous Guyana SEAWALL. But if all you could explain to me what a random cucumber doing here, I will try to understand. In English terms, not Guyanese terms, what does cucumber doing here? Where has it been? And what's its purpose? Now, I actually didn't think to like put on my muffs on my mic so that you could hear me clearly. But on the bright side, you'll get to appreciate the breeze and the wind that's blowing in the back. I mean, it's part of the experience, right? So I know a lot of people just like to say that they've been to the seawall in Guyana. I think appreciating it in the day as compared to the night is something that, you know, a lot of people take for granted, knowing that in the night is a lot of party and all of these different things. Right now we're grabbing some pics, taking a little stroll. As you can see, it looks very beautiful, right? You know, you could even play some cricket here for those who like to play cricket.
Será mi piel junto a tu piel. ¿Cómo será mi piel junto a tu piel? Cardo o ceniza, ¿cómo será? Si he de fundir mi espacio frente al tuyo.
enjoying here. We're enjoying this breeze, the wind, and everything like that. I think that wraps up our evening, right, Ken?
Yes, sir. That comes
Nice.
to the end that brings us to the end of our tour.
I'm sure we're getting a lot of wind here, so
Yeah. You probably can't hear me, so
it was super exciting. Thank you very much,
most welcome.
and we
Most
appreciate
welcome.
it.
And at this point, if any of you would like to take a little dive, I support you. Please go right ahead.
Wave.
Wait, yeah, watch.